Hey guys, it's Chase here on Gemmy Master Animatronics, and today what I have for you is the Gemmy. Oh man, this thing's like 3 feet tall. 2006 animated 3-piece trio band. This is an item that I got off of Marketplace last year. Actually, I don't. It might have been. It actually might have been 2. You know what? I think it was 2 years ago that I got this item. I got this off of Marketplace, and it was about 20 minutes away from me. I was actually on my way to my grandma's house, and I saw that this popped up on Marketplace, and it was right by her house, so I swung by there real quick, and I picked this up, but they wanted cash. I had to, go by to the ATM, but I picked this up, and then I went to my grandma's, and I get to test it all out. But I picked this up for, I think, $200, which was not a very good price now that I think about it, because I've seen these things go for a lot cheaper and brand new in the box. So not only does this thing not have the box, but it also came with its fair share of issues. One of the biggest things that was wrong with it is the arm did not move because it had a split gear, and the piece that grips around the square shaft, the screw was broken, so it wasn't gripping around it. So I had to take a zip tie on that, and I had to zip tie it closed, like so that both plastics were being pushed against each other, so it actually grip onto the square shaft. And I had to replace the gear in the arm because that splitting gear only lasted for so long. But it's got a new gear in there. It works good. The only character now that has a split gear is the penguin on the left, which is a shame because the penguin looks very good. You can see the one on the right doesn't. I mean, the face is kind of messed up, but the one on the left looks perfect in my opinion. It just got the split gear. But other than that, every single gear in this item is all original, which is probably not too surprising, just because these characters typically don't come like very broken. Obviously, if you were to, find one in a hoarder's house where all the bases are yellowed and, it's dirty, yeah, the gears would probably not be in the best shape. But this one actually came from a decent home, and they said they only used it one time, and then they just put it back in their crawl space, and I can't argue with that. I mean, it's very clean. It works great. The plastic is in good shape. But the only place that the plastic seems to be a little bit iffy is on the connector piece for Shanna's head, because it is a little bit cracked underneath there. But it will hold. It looks like it's going to be totally fine. I might have even tried to glue it. I don't remember, but it's still all there. So I think that I can still get a few good years out of this thing, unless I drop the head, which that wouldn't be very good. But this item was 2006. I don't know if this was made any other years after that. It would surprise me if it didn't make it in 2007, because this does seem like a 2007 item to me. I had just looked it up and it said 2006, and I was quite surprised, because 2007 you got a lot of pieces like this that had so much animation. And this is actually one of the least animated ones that you could find. Even though it has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's got 7 different movements, and this is one of the least animated ones that you can find. There are ones out there where the actual penguins or elves or snowmen or whatever you have, they'll actually rotate around. I hate to use this as an example, but if you, like the booty shaking snowman or the Santa, it's got that same mech where it rotates around, except instead of rotating halfway, it rotates all the way around. It does a full 360, and it looks super cool. I'm honestly wondering myself if my trio band right here actually has places on the board where you could connect little harnesses that already and that the chip actually already has the spinning programmed in. I'm wondering if it's like that. I might try to open it up and see, because that does make me curious. Because if it is, then you could probably use these Santa's Universal. And not just for the regular penguins, but I'm sure that the connector pieces are pretty different. So it sings about 4 different songs. It sings Jolly Old St. Nicholas, Deck the Halls, Jingle Bells, and 'Twas the Night Before Christmas. The voice actor on this, I love the voice actor. The guy that did it, he did a lot of the old Santas back in the day. But this one, actually, he wasn't really doing a Santa impression. He was just using his regular singing voice. And even though it's not really Santa singing, like it doesn't really sound like Santa, I think it still sounds super good. The songs are awesome. They're great takes on the classics. I think it sounds great, and this piece itself, just I've always been interested in this one, so I'm glad I had finally gotten it, because like I said, I love the music, I love the animation, I love everything about it, and I've had this thing for, like I said, I've had this for like 2 years, and I still you know, there's still some things about this that like really interest me, if that makes sense. But I do want to show, even though this thing is like 2-3 feet tall, it still collapses. The penguins do not. But the Santa, he does collapse. If you push down on his shoulders, he will go down. And then to get him back up, you kind of have to put your foot on the base so it won't come up. Because you can, you know, if you lift Santa up, his base will go up too. So you have to put your foot on the base, and you can pull him straight up and he'll click into place. It's got the same collapsing mech as the upper body of the Beheaded Bride. So it's got a little tube that goes up and down and it clicks into place. It's kind of weird, but it works. And of course the head does come off. And I will show the cracks that I was talking about. So you can see it might be a little bit yellowed. It might look more yellowed on camera than it really is in person. But it is starting to yellow right here. And this is the only plastic that's yellowing. But you can see it's kind of cracked around here, so you know, that's like that. But I think I might be able to glue it in it. But just as it is, it'll stay. It's fine, but it's still kind of iffy around here, so not too good. And of course the spring had come off of this, so you kind of just have to push it on the best you can, and it'll make contact with the little piece, but you won't get any help from the actual, you know, locking thing itself. And I think that's about it with this thing. The mouths move on the penguins, and the penguins dance. The mouth moves on Santa. The arm goes back and forth to move the microphone. And the microphone itself was a very popular. It has that very old retro microphone look to it, and that was made popular by the King of Rock and Roll, Elvis. And so it's got that look to it. And just many other popular artists back then used it. I'm going to straighten out Santa because he's kind of, there you go, OCD, you know. So he's got the arm movement, the mouth movement, and he dances. But I think with all that being said, I can finally go ahead and activate him, and actually I will have to get in front of the camera again because I don't have him on sensor. Speaking of that, he's got 2 ways to play. 3 actually, because he might have the sound sensors. He's got a sound sensor. He's got a motion sensor in his boot, and he has the push button on his hand. So I will go ahead and put it on sensor because I'm not going to go ahead and get in front of the camera every single time I'm going to activate him. Alright, he should go off.
Hey, now look! There's the house with boughs of holly. Tis a season to be jolly. Don't we now want a gay barrel? So we tell you Todd Carroll.
To mention, supposedly the microphone is supposed to come off the base. Anybody that says that, I swear, is full of crap. I have tried so many times. The owners must have glued it or something, because you can pull it as hard as you can. I've had people come over, you know, collectors, and I've told them, if you can pull this microphone out, I will let you take these things home. And I've had so many people try, and nobody can get it out. You can try twisting it, you can try pulling it, you won't get it out. I might even try it in this video just to kind of see. And you know, it's like the holy sword. You know, you pull out of the stone. It's like that. You can't get it. Oh, and it fully works too. All right, scratch what I said about motion sensors, or not motion, sound sensors. There clearly is not one.
Hey, yeah! Jingle bells, jingle bells, a jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle bells, a jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh.
The audio sounds bad on this. It's not bad. The amplifier that Gemmy uses for these things, you know, once it reaches a certain point, it just starts distorting the audio. It's not even the speaker itself. It's the amplifier that likes to distort the audio. So you can have the volumes, the knob, you know, turned. If you have that turned down, it sounds actually okay. So it might not be the amplifier because the potentiometer would not be connected to the amplifier. Okay, maybe it is a speaker. Either way, it has the potentiometer, or the volume control, whatever you want to call it. You can turn it down, it sounds a lot better, but I have it turned out so you guys can't, you know, hear the split gear and the Penguin, because it's rather loud. But I will, I can turn it down at the end of the video to show you guys the sound quality actually is not that bad.
Well, the night before Christmas, went all through the house. Now the creature was staring. You little mouse, well, the chimney was there. That was the St. Nicholas. Who would be there? Everyone in the house drug in their beds. Visions of sugar plums danced in their heads. And Mama in her kerchief, and I in my cap, had just settled down for a long winter nap.
And my favorite song, if it'll go up. Might notice how well the arm movement works, or yeah, how well it works, because in some videos, especially on the polar bear, it doesn't seem to work very well. It seems to go halfway and then it like wants to back off. I try to make all my items work as they're intended to, because even if you get something brand new in the box, it still might not work as it was designed, and so you have to do a little bit of tweaking. That took me a good, I think, like 10-15 minutes to kind of mess around with to get it perfectly. But now, you know, it's very strong. His arm, if he moves his arm, you know, it's going to stay there. It's not going to go back or anything, and it will, you know, it'll fully extend out and then press into his chest. And it actually, I'm honest, at one point I was a little bit scared for the gears because, you know, when it would hit the chest, like it would still try to spin. and it's very strong. So I would imagine it puts a lot of tension, at least on the square shaft gear. So I'm not really excited to replace that if that ever goes out, but hopefully it won't. But you know, again, it's 2006. It's, you know, over what, 15 years old. Don't like criticize me in the comments if I'm wrong. I mean, it's over 10 years old. It might be 15. I don't know. But that was all the songs. I will go ahead and turn it down so you guys can kind of hear how it's.
Hey, now listen up. There's the house with boughs of high.
Yeah. Go ahead and turn it down for you guys. Also, the potentiometer is very gummed up on this, so it works well, but it's very hard to turn. And it probably doesn't help the fact that I've had this in my, you know, shed in the cold for a good year now. And that's probably why you might notice the characters are moving a little bit slow. That's why. Also, I think I'm almost certain that one of these arms actually had a clicking mechanism in it. Was this one? Yes. It has a clicking mech. So you can adjust the arm as you want. And let me pull it out. Actually, I don't want to break it. But you can move this arm up and down. So that's cool. But I'll leave it out like that. I turned it down, so it should sound a little bit better, but you'll probably hear this guy because his gears are bad, or his motor shaft gear is bad. And I'm not using the correct adapter on this. I'm using like 1 amp under, so that could also be why they're moving slow.
Hey, now listen up. There's the house with boughs of high.
It sounds a lot better now.
Tis the season to be jolly. Well, don't we now our gay apparel? Throw the ancient Yuletide carol. Hey, it's the house with boughs of holly. Tis the season to be jolly. Don't we now our gay apparel? I love it. So the ancient Yuletide carol. Oh, let's start decking them halls.
Okay, that's pretty much it. Really hope you guys enjoyed. Fortunately, the left penguin has once again persevered. Though it has a pretty bad splitting gear, it continues to work, and it's loud. But you know, if I have the volume turned up, you can't notice. And anybody that's, you know, coming in for like a Christmas party or whatever, it's not gonna. These things are, people call these things robots, and robots have noise, so it's, you know, people aren't really gonna care. It's expected. But other than that, all the mechanisms are generally quiet. I think the loudest one, aside from the, you know, split gear in the penguin, would probably be the body turn, or not body turn, the dance, because it has a a belt-driven mech, and the grease on it has gone bad, so you can hear it spinning. But yeah, other than that, I mean, this thing's pretty much perfect, aside from the cracks and everything. But it works perfectly. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Really hope you guys enjoyed. This is the Gemmy 2006, I guess, 3 foot tall animated 3-piece trio band. I highly recommend it. I won't even say if you can find it. This is probably one of the most common trio bands out there, because there is a polar bear one, there's the snowman one, and then there's this. And you know, the Santa can come with a couple different characters like the elves. But yeah, so really hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys again next time.